Market innovation. Okay, before this, Mira tahu tak what is the market equilibrium? Faham tak what is the market equilibrium?
Tak.
Okay, like this Mira. Saya akan bagi gambar sedikit. What is the market equilibrium here? Tengok So we have a graph here, right? This is the graph. This is price. Okay, and this is so we have quantity and price here. Mira dah tahu kan? Tadi what is this? What is the what is the graph? This one, the curve.
Yeah, inversion.
This is for
Yes.
demand. Okay. Faham tak what is demand?
Demand.
Demand is from customer perspective. Okay. So kalau harga lagi tinggi, customer only minta sedikit yang tadi kan, yang dekat.
Yeah.
Kalau harga lagi rendah, dia akan demand lagi tinggi, kan? Okay. So from this demand, we have also the other things, namely supply. Okay. Here. Okay.
Okay.
So boleh draw this graph. So this is price, this is quantity, and this is demand curve, and this one is supply curve. Okay. What is the equilibrium actually? The equilibrium is the price and the quantity that supply and demand are connected in this point.
So kat tengah-tengah tu ada equilibrium lah. In between, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So based on this equilibrium, we will have price equilibrium and we will have quantity equilibrium.
Oh, price dengan quantity equilibrium.
Okay. So we have P equilibrium, PE and QE. Okay. This is price when equilibrium in the market. This is market. When I say market, it will refer to this graph, Mira. So this is the graph of market. Market consists of many suppliers. We can also use this graph for the individuals, but now we say this is the market mechanism. Okay, so this is so many supplier here, and so many customer here along this. So many supplier and many customers are transacting in the market. Okay, and they are agree to have this price equilibrium and quantity equilibrium in the market. So we call this one is market equilibrium because supply and demand are in transacted or cross.
Intersect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What if this? What if this condition? Kalau Afif punya condition ni macam mana? In this situation.
So price tinggi, quantity sikit. Okay.
Okay.
Demand sikit.
Okay, Mira tengok dekat sini. Kalau macam ni, is this point here, is this market equilibrium or not?
Tak.
Tak.
Tak. Sebab dia tak intersect between supply.
Okay. In this condition, demand only sikit je kan dekat sini.
Yeah, demand sikit.
Demand sikit. But the supply is high here. Tengok dekat sini. This is supply. Okay. Kalau Mira tengok, in this price, supply is very high. But the demand is very low. So in this area, they will not transacting. Okay. And they will move to the equilibrium again here. Dia akan turun balik, harganya akan turun. Akan turun hingga dekat sini. So dia akan dekat sini. Okay. And how about this? Kalau harga ni lagi rendah sangat. Dekat sini. Harga ni dekat sini. So macam mana? Kalau
harga rendah.
Rendah.
Kuantiti demand tinggi. Demand banyak. Dia ada
supply macam mana supply?
Supply tinggi.
Tinggi ke rendah?
Price.
Ini supply ni. Yang red ni supply ni.
Supply rendah.
Supply rendah. Oke, kalau harga rendah, supply dia akan rendah. Tapi demand dia tinggi.
Demand dia tinggi.
But there is not, but here they are not in equilibrium. Okay, in the market. Kalau ada yang jual harga dekat sini, kan? Later we will talk about perfect competition. Perfect competition maknanya kalau dalam pasar tuh semua jual jeruk saja, satu jeruk saja, satu buah jeruk. Semua seller, supplier dekat pasar tuh jual satu jeruk. What happen if one producer or one supplier dia decrease dia price? Yang lain.
So customer akan pergi kat dia lah yang jual jeruk murah tu.
Pergi dekat dia kan. Nah, tapi yang sebab price dia buah dia sama, jeruk saja, supplier lain pun dia nanti akan turunkan dia punya harga. Faham?
Sebab customer akan lari.
So boleh jadi nanti supply ini dia akan bergerak dekat sini. Supply ini akan ada supply baru dekat sini. Macam tu. Supply ini kan supply sama kan. So dia akan bergerak dari sini dekat sini. Okay? But that later lah. But that I want to talk about, this is in this condition, this is not market equilibrium. Price will increase. Kalau yang tadi kan price will decrease, kalau yang ini price will increase to the market equilibrium dekat sini. So this is Mira boleh gambar, nanti saya save ke sini. Show in folder. Okay. So this is market equilibrium. Nah, we have one factor here. Kalau apa namanya dia, we have two things, movement along the curve and shifting the curve. Oke, kemarin kita ada cakap belum ya? Saya lupa. So, maknanya dia movement di dalam the graph nih. Contoh ya, this is point A. This is point A. This is point A. Okay. To point B. Here.
Movement along the curve.
Movement
Move to the right.
Okay. From A to B. From A to B. Okay. This is movement along the curve from A to B. Okay. What is the factor that makes point A move to the B? The one is the price. The number one, the only one is the price.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, if I have D here, D, point D to point, let's say E, A, B, C, A, ada point E. E here, from D to E, okay, what is the factors that
lagi rendah harga, lagi tinggi demand.
lagi rendah
supply.
supply, lagi tinggi harga, lagi tinggi supply. Okay, kalau harga dia lagi tinggi, from D to E, dia akan supply lagi banyak. Tapi kalau harga dia lagi rendah, demand dia lagi banyak. So from A to B and D to E, what is the factor that makes they are moving?
What factor that make they are moving?
What is the factors? What the
factor? Price.
Price. Good. Here I will. Okay, I will. Movement along the curve. Only by one factor. Price. Okay, remember this one. Movement along the curve only caused by one factor, price. From A to B and D to E. Okay? This is clear, right? Now, we have another movement. We call it shift. Shift is when the demand curve or supply curve is shift to the right or to the left, like this. Sorry, change the this. Okay. This is movement. This is shift to the right. Okay.
Yeah. Shift
Demand
to the right.
So from A, from this to this, the market equilibrium will change from this to this. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So efficient.
No. We don't. Yeah.
No.
Point here is the most efficient. Point here is the most efficient as well. The same thing. But what I want to say here is, when the demand curve is shift from here
to the right,
so we call it shift to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, when the demand move or shift from here to here, we call it shift to the
Left.
left. Good.
Yeah.
Demand curve shift to the left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we have supply here, and when there is shift from here to here, we call it supply shift to the
Right.
right.
Tak.
Yeah, good.
Ha.
From here to here, we call it supply shift to the
Left.
left. Okay. Now, what is the factors that makes supply and demand are shifting?
What the
factor that makes demand and supply shift from here to here? Okay. The key word is other factors other than price. So
quantity? Demand.
In simple way, other factors than price will shift the demand curve or supply curve. So other factors that than price will shift the graph. Okay, so in this chapter we want to know what is that other factors that makes demand and supply curve shift to the right or to the left. Okay. This is the other factor that I said. This one. What can cause a shift in a demand curve? So we have 5 factors here. First is number of buyers in the market. 2, taste and preference. 3, incomes. 4, expectation. And 5, price of related goods. Let's talk one by one. So we have 5 here. The first is number of buyers in the market. Okay, Mira. Kalau numbers of buyers in the market is increased,
so the price will be low.
No, not like that. Kalau tengok macam ni, tadi mana? Kalau number of buyer increase, maknanya what will apa yang akan bergerak? Supply or demand?
Demand.
Oke, dia akan bergerak ke kanan ke kiri?
Ke kanan sebab meningkat.
Betul. Nih ya. This is if the number of buyers will increase. Oke. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini. From demand 1 yang warna hitam nih menuju demand 2 yang warna biru. Oke. Tengok. Barulah Mira boleh cakap. Kalau dekat yang ni dia kuantiti dia lagi banyak ke lagi sikit daripada QE?
Lagi banyak.
Tapi kalau Mira tengok lagi dekat sini, harga dia lagi mahal, lagi tinggi ke lagi rendah?
Tinggi.
Lagi tinggi macam tu. Okay? So ini kalau number of buyer increase, maknanya dia akan shift to the right like this. Okay? Okay. Sekarang kita tengok the second factors. Okay. Second factors. What is? Taste and preference. Okay. Taste and preference macam ni. Let's say this is ice cream or Milo lah, Milo. This is Milo. This is market of Milo. Kalau preference Malaysian people to Milo is increasing, so dia akan bergerak ke kanan ke atau ke kiri?
Ke kanan.
Ke kanan. Good. Okay. Taste preference maknanya dia lagi suka, lagi senang terhadap that particular goods. Kalau Malaysian peoples lagi senang senang terhadap Milo, dia akan bergerak ke kanan. Makin dia suka, dia akan semakin bergerak ke sini. Nah, berapapun dia akan beli. Kan?
So supply akan meningkat.
Tapi kalau preference dia lagi benci,
Ke kiri.
lagi tak suka, dia akan ke kiri.
Ya, makin ke bawah.
Okay? What is other factors? The last one, the third one, income.
Income.
Okay, macam ni. Kalau income saya lagi naik, maka saya boleh buy more goods, right? Okay, saya akan beli Milo lagi banyak. Sebab duit saya banyak. Okay. Okay, dia akan bergerak ke kanan. Right? Kalau like this lah, this is condition COVID-19, etc. I don't have more money to buy Milo, so I will reduce
Shift to the left.
I will reduce my consumption of Milo. So saya akan beli Milo sikit je lah, sebab tak ada duit, kan? So that's number 3. Number 4 apa tu Mi? Number 4 is
expectation of consumer.
Expectation of consumer. Okay, this is I'm not sure actually. Ni kena baca balik ni, sebab expectation mudah lupa. Nanti baca balik ya. But yang number 5, okay, this is interesting. Price of related goods. Okay, Mira, tengok. Price of related goods. Okay, we have 2 goods, kan? 2 types of goods. First is complement. Second is substitution. Paham tak?
Complement and substitution.
Okay, we have complement goods. Contoh, Milo dengan sugar, kan? Kalau Milo lagi naik, lagi apa namanya? Kalau harga Milo, kita cakap substitution first. Okay, what is substitution for Milo?
Milo. Nescafe, teh, tea.
Pernah dengar Tamar Koko tak? Tamar Koko.
Ya.
Tamar Koko is Milo Muslim edition, right? Okay, kalau
substitute, substitute mean pengganti Milo lah. So Tamar Milo tu.
Betul. Kalau harga Tamar Koko tu lagi
murah,
mahal, lagi murah. So maknanya people akan decrease dia punya demand kepada Milo, kan?
Betul.
Dia akan dekat sini. Tapi kalau harga Tamar Koko lagi mahal, orang akan beli Milo lagi banyak dekat sini. Kan? Macam tu. This is substitution good. So harga Tamar Koko akan bagi impact kepada Milo. Kalau harga Tamar Koko lagi murah, dia akan beli Tamar Koko lagi banyak dan Milo lagi sikit. Tapi kalau harga Tamar Koko lagi mahal, maka dia akan berkurang beli Tamar Koko dan dia akan beli Milo lagi banyak, macam tu. And other thing is complement sugar. Let's say sugar. To make Milo, we have to add sugar, right? So kalau harga sugar lagi tinggi, lagi mahal, dia akan dekat sini. Sebab dia akan bersamaan dengan Milo. Faham tak?
Apa yang Milo dengan sugar? Ulang balik.
Sugar kan complement of Milo. So kalau harga sugar dia mahal, maka dia akan mengurangkan untuk membeli sugar.
Aha, betul.
Kalau harga sugar dia mengurangkan membeli sugar, dia tak nak beli Milo pun banyak-banyak. Sebab kalau dia minum Milo tanpa sugar, dia tak boleh minum. Sebab sugar is complement of Milo. Kan? Tak sedap Milo tanpa sugar tu, macam itulah. Kan? Tapi kalau harga sugar tu lagi murah, dia akan beli sugar lagi banyak. Kalau harga sugar kalau dia beli sugar lagi banyak, dia pun kelak akan beli Milo lagi banyak, kan? Itu. So price of related goods, it will affect to shift to the right or to the left. Okay. So there are 5 factors there. One is number of buyers, second is taste and preference, third is income, 4 is expectation, 5 is price of related goods. Kalau saya tak silap, expectation tu macam ni. Expectation macam COVID-19 lah. Tengok ya. This month, consumer expect that the price, the willingness to buy of consumer will reduce. Dia akan turun dekat sini. Kenapa? Sebab dia cakap this month kita ada COVID-19. COVID-19 akan semua kedai akan tutup.
So harga akan naik.
Semua kedai akan tutup. Harga pasti akan naik, kan?
Harga akan naik lah.
Harga akan naik. Banyak yang para pekerja tak boleh kerja. So this will make the consumer expectation to buy.
Okay? Maksudnya bila because of COVID-19 ni happen, so consumer akan reduce lah untuk membeli sebab
betul.
Harga naik.
Sebab dia dia punya expectation that this month or this year their consumption will reduce because of COVID-19. Actually, this is the real thing. Sebab kalau Mira tengok kan, mana-mana kedai tutup, orang pun malas nak beli kan. Daya beli kalau daya beli people tak boleh pergi dekat mall, tak boleh pergi dekat KLCC sebab tutup kan. So dia punya expectation pun akan rendah, akan pergi dekat sini. But in contrast, when they have a good expectation, contoh lepas raya Cina tu kan, semua open kedai, semua consumption. So dia punya expectation lagi bagus lah, lagi dekat sini. Dia punya dekat Ramadan. In normal condition, dekat Ramadan or dekat hari raya, semua expect akan beli lagi banyak kan. Sebab nak raya, Mira nak beli baju baru ke.
So hari raya people tend to spend more.
Yes, they expect to spend more kan.
Yeah.
No matter they're buy the goods for themselves or they want to give it to the others. That's your business, but they have expectation to buy more goods in Ramadan. But after Ramadan, they will shift again to the right like this. Dia akan move lagi dekat sini. Okay, Ramadan dia pergi dekat sini. Lepas Ramadan dia akan balik lagi.
Kurang sikit.
Kan, harga-harga dekat raya saya rasa akan nak meningkat kan. Tapi lepas raya dia dah balik lagi dekat sini. Okay, jap.